Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 5th episode. I am here with Wyatt Wells. We have a lot to discuss today. We have a Super Bowl preview. We have our picks once again. But unfortunately, we have to start our show with the news of Kobe Bryant passing away Sunday morning, along with 8 others in a helicopter crash just short of Los Angeles. Kobe played 20 years with the Lakers, and he accomplished a lot on and off the court. Not only winning 5 NBA championships, but inspiring millions of adults and children to live the Mamba mentality. Wyatt, it's been a rough couple days.
It's hard. I literally just started tearing up just you talking about it normally. Yeah, that was not expected at all. Was just an awful few days. I remember I was training at the sports bar, and the bartender was talking to this group of people, and they were talking about how Kobe passed away, and I'm looking at her like she's crazy. I'm like, what are you talking about? Kobe's not dead. And she was like, yeah, he passed away. TMZ's reporting it. I'm like, okay, honey, like TMZ is not the most reliable source, and we'll get into TMZ later, but I was like, Kobe was just one of those guys who was invincible. You didn't think was gonna outlive you before you saw him.
I mean, it was interesting to see the public's reaction. He was an icon to people who weren't even sports fans. He introduced basketball to a lot of people, and he made people live their best lives. Kobe always had the mentality of, if you have a talent, you should be doing everything you can do to maximize what you have been given. If you're not doing everything you can to succeed, then you're failing. So we have a jersey from Wyatt when he was a kid. He wore number 8 for Kobe. What was Kobe for you as a child?
You know, Kobe, it's always famous. He talks about that Mamba mentality, that work ethic, on top of the God-given talent that anyone's given. For me, as a high school kid in sports, or just any sports in general, just playing in school, I wasn't the most gifted athlete. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like 145 soaking wet. So I was never the most gifted on the gifted person, like athletically. I was fast, but that was all I had for me. I was speedy. So I chose number 8 as my number throughout my career, middle school and high school, because I wanted to represent Kobe. Now, young Kobe, number 8 Kobe is the one that I like to relate to a lot, while his personality sometimes was a little bit polarizing. But I loved number 8 Kobe. So for me, I chose number 8 just because of that work ethic. Even though I knew that I did not have the talents that some of these other kids on the team had, just God-given. If I put in the work and the effort to try even close to what he did, and just that mentality, then I feel like I'd be able to contribute some way for my team, just on or off the field. So that's why I always went with number 8, just because it's such a nice number, and then also that representation of like Kobe's Mamba mentality. So that's why I always chose 8. So I brought that out today, wore it to school, and just took that out of the trunk of the car, brushed it off, and thought it'd be nice to just kind of put up there for a little.
It looks nice, man. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give a shout out to a friend back home. So I had a friend named Tyler Barrett for years in Milwaukee, and he's like us, almost. He's a 6-foot white dude. I mean, not
6 foot. I'd love to be.
Well, okay, like 5'11". He's
5'11".
But okay. But my point is that he's not a goddamn.
He's not an athlete.
No, but people like Kobe inspired him to be the greatest. In my opinion, Tyler is one of the best shooters I've seen in person. He works on his game more than anyone I've ever seen. And Kobe did that for a lot of people. But not just in basketball, but in every aspect, whether it's accounting, whether it's real estate, whether it's waiting. Kobe gave that mentality to so many people that people are living their best lives because of him. And you mentioned, he had a character sometimes.
That's sometimes what it takes.
Watching Lakers games was almost like going to the theater. He almost gave a performance.
Showtime.
Performance every single time that he played. There will be people who like to compare Michael and Kobe. Kobe is his own person. Kobe is not a legend. He is an icon in the world, and nobody will ever replace Kobe.
It's such a shame because we all admired him for what he did on the court, and I feel like what he was going to do off the court in this second part of his life is just what would have been even more impactful.
We're not even mentioning the worst part about this. So 8 people on the helicopter crash died. One of them being his daughter, Gigi. Now Gigi was 14 years old. 13. My apologies. She was like her dad.
Oh,
in so many ways.
Mambacita.
Mambacita.
She was gonna carry on the legacy of Kobe Bryant. Everyone talked about how everyone wanted him to have a boy, and he was like, Gigi's got this.
There's a story that I really like. There would be times where fans would talk to like Kobe and his daughter and be like, "Hey Kobe, you should have had a son so you could carry on the Mamba legacy." Gigi would tell the fan, "Don't worry, I got this." She was going to be the face of the WNBA in a couple years. Kobe got his chance to live his legacy and like build himself to inspire people. But people like Gigi are never going to get their chance, including the other daughters and the wives and fathers that died in that crash. So for Wyatt and myself, we want to give our condolences to not only the Bryant family, but anyone that has been affected by this tragedy in Los Angeles. Mamba for life.
Mamba out.
Now, to move on, because, Kobe would want us to keep going. Kobe would want us to move on to the next thing and not somber on this for too long. So we will, in making Wyatt very angry. So, Wyatt Wells is a Houston Texans fan.
Yes.
And Wyatt Wells does not like Bill O'Brien.
No.
Well, Wyatt, I got some good news for you today.
Well, it doesn't sound like good news because you just said I'm going to be angry about it. I don't know what's happened.
So Bill O'Brien has officially been named the general...
Fired?
No, he's not been fired. He has been hired as if anyone doesn't know, Bill O'Brien's currently the head coach of the Houston Texans. And the Texans fired the GM last year. Well, now they have hired a brand new GM. Bill O'Brien! Bill O'Brien is officially not only the general manager, but is also going to be head coaching the Houston Texans for the foreseeable future. Wyatt Wells, what do you think about this? Sucks. Okay.
Very disappointed.
But my answer is, why? Why did the Houston Texans make this call, in your opinion?
I don't know why you're asking me. I don't know why.
Could it be due to the fact that they've won the division 4 out of the last 5 years?
I don't think that has much to do with him, though. I mean,
wait.
Are
you saying that good coaches what they should do is that they should call fake punts when they're up 14 points in a playoff game? That's good coaching, right?
Especially when the fake punt was a lot farther than the original distance.
Anyway,
yeah.
I mean, my thing about it is that maybe it's about. I think Bill O'Brien could actually be a good GM because he makes transactions. He got Larry Tunsil.
He can be a GM all he wants. Let's get a different coach.
That's what I mean, though. That's what's weird about this is that he's the general manager and the head coach.
Why?
Promote him to GM, but then hire a new head coach.
Exactly. Why?
Because he's actually built a really good team in Houston. That's a good team. You even survived the Javadian Clowney situation. You got really good picks for Clowney, which was shocking because people knew he wanted to be out.
That's great. He can do those deals, but he can't coach on a football field. So, be a GM all you want. Get us another damn coach.
Well, maybe next year. But
maybe.
for now, unfortunately...
who knows? Maybe he'll be the owner next year.
So, Sunday was the greatest game of all time. It's what we all look forward to as NFL fans. It's the greatest game of the year. The best collection of athletes. I'm talking about the Pro Bowl, Wyatt. The Pro Bowl.
I don't know what special game.
The NFC beat the AFC in a grilling matchup. Devontae Adams got 2 touchdowns. Go Pack, go. Yeah. But the most interesting part about the Pro Bowl were the changes made during this game. So the Pro Bowl has been used for years to test out different NFL rules, see if things will work out, and then they introduce them in the next season. This season, they introduced a new kickoff rule. So instead of kicking the ball off, kickoffs automatically just go to the 25-yard line, like a touchback. But the big change is to the onside kick. Instead of doing an onside kick, teams would go to the 25-yard line and do a 4th and 15 after a possession. If they convert it, great, they get to keep the ball. But if they don't, the other team gets the ball in opposing territory, almost at the red zone. Is this a gimmick, or is this something that could work, Wyatt?
I mean, seeing it, we've seen the Pro Bowl be used to, kind of see different rules. Whether or not those rules actually transfer up to the NFL actually make the difference. I don't see a harm in it. I mean, right now, kickoff returns have been one of the bigger pieces that they want to try to fix. Some say that they're useless and just don't provide that, you're not, the risk and reward isn't great. So I don't mind that they're trying to figure out new ways to try to tackle that issue. The 4th and 15 is an interesting concept.
It's so interesting because this year what they did was, if anyone didn't notice, the onside kick percentages went super down. Because usually, you're at the 35-yard line, okay? Mm-hmm. And you can, in the past, you've been able to start at the 30 and then run up as the kick's going. So you get a momentum head start on the kick, which allows people to get to the 45-yard line faster for the kick, for a downside kick. This year, you have to stay on the line of scrimmage until the ball is kicked, which means you don't get a momentum boost and it takes you longer to get there. So onside kicks have been like super hard. So they're trying to fix that this year with this gimmick, and I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
I don't think, because the thing is like, I'm just trying to imagine watching an NFL broadcast and then seeing a team go for 4th and 15 on their own 25-yard line, right? Or is it? I'm trying to.
So the new rule is that currently teams.
Yeah, their own 25.
Yeah. So normally teams kick off at their own 35, but if you want to do this onside play, you get the 25-yard line.
But see, there's the thing. First of all, 4th and 15, which is like almost like the iffy distance where it's just like, damn. Like it's like
you don't design plays for 4th and 15.
Yeah,
but
like that
teams will.
Like they're like that 4th and 15, and like speaking from just being a Clemson fan, 4th and 16 against that LSU team back when we actually beat them. It's like a glimmer of hope, It's not like 4th and 20, 4th and like an obvious passing play, but 4th and 15 just kind of just gives you a little bit of
what
hope. If maybe, but at their own 25-yard line, because most 4th and 15s do not get converted.
Yes.
So I don't really see a lot of teams taking that, because if that goes down, you're dead ball depending on at best at the 25. Unless you got some great red zone defense on the other side, that's almost some pretty easy points right there for any team.
Yeah, and I think what it does here, it takes the luck out of the onside kick. Because onside kicks have usually been luck-based. Like, a team would need a miracle to have an onside kick, Brandon Bostic, for it to happen. So,
you okay?
The NFC Championship game a couple years ago, the Packers.
You sound like you need a little cough.
I'm still. This may be why I like this rule, because it adds more skill, into like that last. Can we talk about my boy?
Yes, we can talk.
I would love to talk about my boy. Our boy Antonio Brown has been sentenced to life in prison.
No, he has not.
He might.
Let's kill him. We are not.
Clickbait.
No,
clickbait. That's thumbnail.
We are not.
Antonio Brown in prison for life.
We are not a clickbait channel at all. He almost got life. That was the consideration. Let's be very clear.
Well, let's start from the beginning.
This man is out of jail.
So Antonio Brown was arrested on battery and robbery for
felony robbery
for,
and battery. First
for
of all,
beating up the moving guy and not paying him.
What did he rob? Is what I want to know. What was the burglary? What did he steal from a mover?
By not paying him like the $4,000. That's considered burglary.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
So
yeah.
On top of everything, this.
I was like, did he steal something out of his
So
truck?
this charge, along with everything else that has happened the last year, with including the sexual assault case.
Dude, this Madden curse, it's legit.
These Patrick Mahomes,
like
please don't get Patrick Mahomes.
No, man, no. Patrick Mahomes is safe. I mean, this thing, Antonio Brown got messed up so bad, they skipped a whole year. Mahomes is safe. Like, I mean, Madden 20 has been out for a while. Like he's good. Like Antonio basically was like, hold your stuff, fam. I got you. Like, boom, boom. Whoever's got 2021.
Lamar screwed.
Oh dear, Lamar.
But anyway,
you better hope that Antonio Brown continues this for another year.
But anyway, so Antonio Brown's currently going through the trials right now. When I meant life sentence, is that's a possibility.
Yes.
So he's been the sentence is life sentence, and he's obviously his lawyers think that.
Well, yeah, they're saying that he was overcharged. Just that this was blown way out of proportion just because his name is Antonio Brown.
I can't wait for the 30 for 30.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we got a big game coming up Sunday. Super Bowl.
Puppy Bowl?
Puppy Bowl. Puppy Bowl. Super Bowl 54. We have the San Francisco 49ers against the Kansas City Chiefs. A matchup of heavy passing offense versus heavy rushing offense. Really good pass defense versus really good rush defense. Wyatt, let me hear about the Chiefs. What do they got for this game?
Well, the Chiefs, if you've been living under a rock, they're quarterbacked by some guy named Patrick Mahomes. He's pretty good.
Wait, who?
He throws passes without looking at them. It's just kind of the thing he does.
Oh, okay.
So this Chiefs offense is coming in pretty highly respected. But I'm just loving this matchup because it's defense wins championships.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd love to see this defense try to stop this offense. You got Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, just Olympic sprinters going against Richard Sherman in the secondary. And even then, the tight end matchup. George Kittle and Kelsey.
This has got to be the best tight end matchup in history. This is amazing.
I'm just gonna be watching the middle of the field for half the game.
That's gonna be a big part.
That's gonna be a huge part. For a little bit of stats, Chiefs D ranked. The defense ranks 26th in rushing, which is not good if you're anyone trying to stop Raheem Mostert. And then 8th in passing, which, is a little better if Jimmy Garoppolo throws a little more than 7 or 8 passes in a game, which I'm sure he will in this one. And then for the offense, everyone knows their passing offense, which I actually expected it to be a little higher, only 5th. And then their offense for rushing is 23rd. They don't really have a bell cow at running back.
Well, they were going committee, but then LaShawn McCoy's been inactive for a few games, and it's actually been Damian Williams who stepped up, mainly in the red zone. So the Chiefs have usually thrown to Travis Kelce in the red zone, but in the playoffs, in the last couple weeks in the regular season, they just hand the ball off to Damian Williams because the defense is expecting pass. That's where he's really succeeded, and that's something you could worry about for the 49ers. But going on the more San Francisco side, we got to mention first Jimmy Irrelevant Garoppolo, apparently. Interesting stat, I credit Bob Ryan for this on ESPN. He has the fewest pass attempts before a Super Bowl since 1974. Bob Greasy of the Miami Dolphins only threw 11 passes in the first 2 games of the playoffs. Jimmy Garoppolo, 27, which is very low for this modern age of football. But the big thing that the Chiefs fans have been thinking, all we have to do is to have Jimmy Garoppolo win the game. Because he can't, right?
Especially and it's just so misleading also because when the Packers run defense can't stop Raheem Mostert at all. That was like an NFL running back versus St. Mary's School of the Blind.
Oh yeah.
You don't really need to throw that much when you're getting that big of holes and those kind of plays.
Well, Kansas City has one of the worst rush defenses in the league, like you mentioned. They give up the 4th most rushing yards, so that's going to be big. Mm-hmm. So they're going to do everything they can to make Jimmy Garoppolo throw the ball. No. But here's the catch. George Kittle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kansas City gives up the 2nd most passing yards to the tight end position, and George Kittle burns teams.
See, I think that's just going to be different, though, because, obviously, when you're looking at this 49ers offense, Kittle stands out. So I think that they'll kind of key in on Kittle.
Don't forget about Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is a mini Tyreek Hill in the slot. Yeah. He has been getting these long range bombs.
I'm just saying, who are you more scared of, George Kittle or a first, second year receiver out of South Carolina?
I'm gonna take the 6'6" white dude. George Kittle.
I was gonna be like, you're gonna take George Kittle, please.
But they've been trying to stop the tight end all year and they can't. So you have to choose your poison. Do you guard the upper middle of the field to prevent against the George Kittle's long post routes? Or do you put 8 men in the box and you try to stop Raheem Mostert? What do you do? Because the 49ers can do it all. You mentioned how the Chiefs don't have a run game.
No.
And the Niners actually have the best pass defense in the entire league by a lot.
No, what's actually funny is, like, before I was doing all the research for the show, like, you know, like, of course, like, you know, oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he'll dominate. Offense is, you know, crazy. What's the San Francisco 49ers? Then I looked at it, I was like, wait, San Francisco also has an offense?
They do. They have a really good offense.
I was like,
Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 4,000 yards this year. And he won 2 games. He won Seattle game in Week 17. He drove down and won the game. And in that shootout against New Orleans, he threw for 450 yards and had a game-winning drive to seal it.
No, I mean, there was no other team that I think has had the run that the 49ers have had the past couple of games. I mean, just about how close these games have been. So I think that provides a really good boost for them, be able to kind of like go back and look back at those moments in those games and just know that even if Patrick Mahomes comes out swinging and they go up 14, 21-0, you can look back at the couple games that are game winners and just those close ones that you were able to fight it out in that fourth quarter. So I think as long as they can make it to that fourth quarter, late third is where you'd want to make sure that the Chiefs aren't pulling away.
That's going to be Kansas City's key. They want to get this to do a blowout early because they don't have the run game to keep to survive in the second half.
Yeah, and also to just chew out the clock. You want to make sure that you are ahead because you don't want to get behind.
If Patrick Mahomes doesn't have 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, this is going to be a close game the entire way. Because the 49ers aren't going to pull away. They're not.
I just want to see what this defense is going to do against this offense.
Well, it was interesting. So Super Bowl 50 was the Panthers versus the Broncos. Yes. The Panthers with Cam Newton had the best offense, and the Broncos had the best defense. And we were interested. We were interested to see what prevails, offense or defense.
Defense.
It was by a lot defense.
But that was a terrible game.
Yes.
I just hope that
this is going to be a good game.
Anything.
This is going to be an amazing game, even though the Packers aren't in it.
That and 64.8% win probability for the Chiefs right now per FBI. Mahomes trying to be the first quarterback to win both a Super Bowl and regular season MVP before the age of 25.
Can we take a second to just acknowledge how quickly Patrick Mahomes has developed?
Oh, absolutely.
This is ridiculous.
First of all, just talking about from college, just some kid from Texas Tech,
wasn't drafted first overall. No. He was drafted the 10th and was supposed to back up Alex Smith for years.
Yeah, nope. This kid can ball. That's a pretty impressive feat, all of it its own. And then also, if the Chiefs somehow manage to win this Super Bowl, they would be the 4th team to beat the top 3 rushing offenses in a single season en route to a title.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a stat. That's a freaking stat. All right, moving on to the smartest sports person picks of the week. We got 4 NBA games and then the big one.
Yeah, and luckily our recording for our last show went absolutely kaput.
Oh yeah, we haven't really mentioned that. So we recorded a show last week for you guys. And
that you're, I bet, expecting.
The audio was just
terrible.
Horrible.
I don't know what happened.
So we refilmed it and it was horrible again.
Audio was still terrible.
And I got mad. So we left.
We'll see what happens here.
So we're gonna hope that this works. We're gonna focus on the first game. Thursday, January 30th on 10:30 TNT. We have the Jazz versus the Nuggets. 2 teams where it's you don't really know much about them. They're flying under the radar, but they're 2nd and 3rd in the Western Conference right now. Nikola Jokic versus Donovan Mitchell. Who's your pick?
I'm gonna go with the Nugs. I'm gonna go there. Jokic, 19.7 points a game. I don't know. I just think they're the better team over Utah. Honestly.
Well, I mean,
I can't provide too much of a commentary here, just because I don't really know too much about either team, so I don't want to say stuff that I don't know. So I'm gonna go with the Nuggets here, just because I don't know. I like them better.
You like them better? Well, I'm gonna go with the Jazz for multiple reasons. Donovan Mitchell has been really balling out the last couple weeks. They struggled to start the year. People didn't think they were gonna make the playoffs, and now look at this. They're 32 and 14. Yes, they had a bad loss to the Rockets a couple days ago. But they're playing amazing right now. Rudy's finally getting to the swing of things on defense.
A bad loss to the Rockets, by the way.
Yeah, they did.
In which Gordon got 50. Career high.
But I think
without Harden, Westbrook, or Capella.
But I think Jokic is the key to that offense for the Nuggets, and I think Gobert is his kryptonite. I think the Jazz are going to take this one. So, Friday, January 31st, the next day, 10:30 on ESPN, we have the Trailblazers and the Lakers. So the Lakers game that was supposed to be on Tuesday night ended up getting canceled.
Yeah, first time that not canceled, postponed. First time that an NBA game has been postponed, not due to court issues or weather. So, I mean, obviously, Kobe Bryant passing is a event in of itself, so definitely worthy to do that. We kind of have mixed feelings about it. I think it's completely fine. I mean, you don't know what the players are thinking at this moment, especially the Lakers organization. I mean, everyone there is super close to Kobe, even if they didn't play with him, because he's still just around that organization.
Absolutely. So the game was canceled Tuesday night against the Lakers and the Clippers. So this will be the first game that the Lakers play in the Staples Center. It's against the Trailblazers, one of the worst teams in the league. I think we're both picking the Lakers here, correct?
Oh, Lakers by $1 billion.
By $1 billion.
Lakers.
This is probably, besides the Super Bowl, the most important game of the week. I think everyone should tune in to watch this game. It's going to be theater. It's going to be emotional and it's going to be exciting for everyone to watch, I think. I think it's going to be good for the city of Los Angeles, too, to see their team play.
I hope so. I mean, they just, not even like being a Lakers fan or just growing up watching Kobe, just knowing how I've been affected by it, I can't imagine what some of these people in the
It's gonna be healthy. It's gonna be healthy for them. So the next day, Saturday, February 1st, 8:30 on ABC, we got the Philadelphia 76ers against the Boston Celtics. Two of the biggest high powers in the East. One in the Celtics, who have kind of started to figure out their gel with Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and a team without Joel Embiid right now, the 76ers, who's playing amazing right now. 5 straight wins. Ben Simmons is balling. Who do you got?
I have the Celtics. The only thing that's kind of concerning me, I love Kemba Walker, and I love Cantor, but Cantor right now is out.
Yes.
So, it's also like Jason Tatum's day-to-day.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only thing, is like if Jason Tatum comes back, but Jason Tatum's also day-to-day, so, if he comes back, maybe, I mean, they don't have Joel Embiid right now, he's out as well, so I just think this offense can just do more than the 76ers right now, plus both defense, give up over about 100 a game, so just let me take the Celtics.
I'm going to take the Celtics too in this game. I mean, I believe the Celtics have a more balanced team than the 76ers. I feel like, yes, Ben Simmons is playing way better without Joel Embiid clogging the paint, but Ben Simmons needs somebody. And currently there's no one in the Sixers that's really helping him out that much, especially on that bench.
Yeah.
Where I feel like the Celtics really, that's their strength is when it comes to the bench. So I'm going to take the Celtics in this one.
All right.
Then Sunday, if you want a little preview before the Super Bowl, there's a game at 2 o'clock. It's the Pelicans and the Rockets on ABC. Wyatt.
I don't even know what to think of this game. Is Harden and Westbrook going to be playing?
Let's say that Harden and Westbrook plays.
Oh, then Rockets.
Well, let me ask you this. If Harden and Westbrook play, who's the best player on the court? It's Zion Williamson. Zion's going to have a great game. Zion has been playing so great. He's been playing so great. He's been amazing. He's been amazing. Did you see that he dunks the ball now, Wyatt? Did you see that he rebounds the ball? He scores points. It's been fantastic seeing Zion develop. He may already be a top 10 player in this league. Brandon Ingram with that team, Lonzo Ball. It is such a balanced team. I'm in love with this New Orleans Pelicans roster. Stop.
You don't get him.
No, Brett.
Favre is not accepting that.
Okay, but in reality, the Pelicans really do have a balanced roster. And I think they're one of the better defensive teams in the entire league. If they can stop the front court of James Harden and Russell Westbrook, or just James Harden, if James Harden's going to be in the game, I think the Pelicans can take this one. I think they're competing for the 8th seed. And they're still going to beat the Lakers.
I was going to say, this is all coming from a man who thinks that the Pelicans are going to beat the Lakers.
I said might. I said they have a chance.
Might.
Okay, and then the big daddy of the NFL season.
By the way, can we just say that there were 2 regular season MVPs on that court.
Yes.
And you went with the rookie who's played 3 games?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I did. Because Zion's amazing. Did you know that Zion Williamson scored 17 straight points in his debut, Wyatt? Did you know this?
Against the San Antonio Spurs?
But he's a rookie.
Whoa.
Dude, he's gonna be so great.
I think he'll be great.
I feel like I already work for ESPN with the Zion hype.
Oh, anyway, Sunday, February 2nd, 6:30, Fox. It's the big one. Super Bowl
54.
Chiefs and 49ers.
Ooh.
It's not like we just talked about this.
We did, and I'm still debating my pick. Even I might change it here because this is a good game. These are 2 very equal teams. They counter each other's strengths to their weaknesses. The Chiefs have a good pass offense. The 49ers have a good pass defense. You know, they counter each other. I'm gonna go with the Niners for the reason that they have been so much better than every NFC team right now. They have been dominating in every facet of the game, and Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't had to throw yet. He's a
Do you think the 49ers would be the 2nd best team in the AFC right now?
I think they'd be the best team in the AFC. I think they're the best team in football right now. I think they're the most well-rounded. They have a good pass offense. They have a good pass rushing. They have good defense. I mean, they're just so well-rounded. I don't see a weak... Let me ask you this. What's the weakness in the Niners? The unknown of Jimmy Garoppolo? I think that's it. They're a very balanced team. And I'm going to go with the Niners, and I'm going to go a low-scoring Super Bowl of 24-21.
Yeah, they got the over-under at 54. Over-under right now is at 54.5, so that kind of matches up. You're right, when looking at both teams, the 49ers are a more complete team, just offensively and defensively. I just can't bet against Patrick Mahomes in this offense right now. Until I actually see it stopped completely, I can't go against Patrick Mahomes. And also, I'm more of an offensive guy. I want to take the offense.
This is going to be a good game, no matter what.
I hope so. I hope it's a good game.
So you got the Chiefs?
Yeah, I got the Chiefs. I'm just hoping it's better than these past couple Super Bowls.
Whoa.
Patriots Eagles was fantastic.
Patriots Falcons was fantastic.
Don't mean as a person hoping the Patriots were gonna lose. Not really.
You can admit it was a good game.
I mean, it was a good game until they blew a 28.
Do you have a score?
No. I don't think I have one.
We've seen who's better. All right, before we go, we have a little rant we gotta talk about really quickly to close out the show. So I took 2 years of journalism in Milwaukee, so journalism integrity is very important to me. The moments that Kobe Bryant's news was getting released, there was lots of speculation what was happening. That's the whole thing on its own, whether all 4 daughters are on the plane, or
9 people.
Random athletes like
Rick Fox.
Rick Fox was thought to die. But the thing that got... Because that's a whole conversation we have about journalism in general, you know? Confirming sources before just reporting out nonsense. I have to rant about TMZ here. Because TMZ beat out the police to this crash, beat out confirming it was Kobe Bryant before even the police knew. And do you know how Kobe Bryant's wife found out he was dead? From fucking TMZ. The same moment that we found out Kobe Bryant was dead was the same time Vanessa Bryant and all of the loved ones of that crash found out. TMZ didn't have the integrity to let the police call the families of these witnesses. I can't even comprehend how soulless you have to be to do that. To report on a story so quickly and so fastly and get it out to the public before even letting the families know that their loved ones have passed. I think everyone that was involved in that story, because now what the TMZ is doing, if you look at TMZ right now, the articles that they're posting, Top 5 things you need to know about Vanessa Bryant, the widow of Kobe Bryant. I mean, these clickbait articles now to take advantage of the fact that someone died. Journalism integrity needs to change in America right now because we have our president right now who's attacking journalism integrity, and he may have a point. I mean, unless you have anything else to say about it, I think that'll just be the final.
I mean, it's hard, especially we were talking about it earlier in class with our program director who was a producer for ESPN. It's just such a tough call. I mean, on the integrity, absolutely notify the family. I mean, at least beforehand. If you know it, just call. I mean, it's not that hard. I don't care how big of a story it is.
If my fucking mom or dad dies, I don't want to look at my Twitter feed and say, see, both Windsors die in a car crash.
Yeah.
And then get the police call, you know?
No,
that's ridiculous.
It's awful. But I think, I mean, we were talking about it earlier. This is probably one of the biggest sports
biggest deaths
to happen in a long time.
Yeah.
Like if not at all, in a long time. And I think that it being Kobe Bryant, I mean, you want to break that story as a news organization. Yeah. The problem is also a lot of these teams can't compete because TMZ is known to pay for tips. So they'll have people just call in and they'll get a reward for giving them information. Mm-hmm. So there has been speculation that that's what this possibly was that...
of course it was. I guarantee you it
TMZ
was.
TMZ got a tip out pretty quickly and just didn't confirm it as well as they needed to. Mm-hmm. It's just hard. You can't put yourself in their shoes. The family, not TMZ. And it was just an awful thing to happen, just on top of a incredibly sad day. The fact that, I mean, it was even worse because you think for a moment it's fake. You hope it's fake because TMZ, sometimes gets that wrong. And when I told the lady, the bartender, who I called a liar, which I will apologize for later, I was just like, until I see that on the ESPN crawl, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
And sadly, 45 minutes later, as they did do their due diligence and make sure that, because they had a lot of reports coming in.
But here's the problem though, they didn't. They just reported everything. They reported 4 daughters died. Then they reported that Rick Fox died. Then they reported that no daughter. So the last thing I just want to say.
Not very good.
The last thing I want to say is a message that has been spread around the country, I think, and it's this. If you have a beef with anyone, or you don't, or maybe your relationship that isn't repaired yet, or you just haven't told someone you love them in a while, do it. Fix the problem, because you never know when somebody could be gone. So, text your mom, text your best friend, call somebody that you had a problem with in a bit. Just tell them you love them. For Wyatt Wells, I'm Logan Windsor. We will see you next week. Have a good night.
Mamba out.
Mamba out.